What is up, guys? It's the BULLISHBUZZ back again. Today we'll be breaking down my top 3 energy stocks for 2026. All of these stocks have massive upside potential, so let's not waste any time and let's jump right in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment BULLISHBUZZ in all caps down below.
Let's give a nice round of applause to the Bullish Huzz. She absolutely killed that. She's going to be looking to open her own stock YouTube channel coming very, very soon. Anyways, let's jump right into this video. Stock number 1 on today's list is going to be T1 Energy, ticker symbol TE. Now, you guys know this has been a fan favorite in the Discord after we did get an alert at $3.20, and just about a month later, we were already up over 150%. Now, currently, our first target is going to be up to $9.37, which is up 195% from our entry. In my opinion, what is happening next with TE is we're going to come back, retest this one extension, move up to our 1618 extension, and then go on from there. Now, after this, we are going to have our IPO price, which is going to be a little bit tough to break. We are going to see some resistance right here, and realistically, we could pull all the way back down to around $7 again, then move on from there. But IPO price is not easy to break, as well as this 1618 extension. Overall, moving out of this cup and handle, though, we look great. I'm going to switch over to the weekly time frame where you guys can see yet again, this is just a great setup and a great reaction right here. I do expect to continue moving higher based off of their financials, which we will talk about in just a second. But after we do break through that IPO price at $9.72, we will move all the way up 433% from our entry to $16.98. That is going to be our prior all-time highs. And after that, guys, we have room to run. We're going to have to do a whole nother analysis once we do break all-time highs, of course, but nonetheless, being up 433%, there should be no complaints. Jumping over to T1 Energy's financials here, you guys can see that they are rated a strong buy over here on TradingView. We also do have a max target of $15, an average price target of $8.90, and a minimum price target of about $6. So nonetheless, we still have a lot of upside from the analyst perspective. Now, overall, you guys can also see their EPS is growing at a great rate. We were down a $3.20 loss on EPS in 2024, about a dollar loss in 2025, and by 2028, we were all the way up a dollar on EPS being profitable by that time. That is a very, very good growth rate for EPS of well over 100% in the next couple of years. Now, you guys can also see much of the same with their revenue. This is insane, guys. In 2024, they did $3 million in revenue. In 2027, they're looking to do $1.73 billion in revenue. This company is currently worth $1.75 billion in market cap. So we are definitely going to see this company continue its rally higher. And for 2026, we are still well over $1.1 billion. And that is outpacing 2025, doing just about double that. So we are seeing great growth out of this company. I expect them to do very, very well. And with numbers like this, if they are to continue to operate well on hand and possibly even raise guidance over the next couple of years, we could definitely see this stock well into the 10s, 20s, and even $30 by 2027. Things are going to start to heat up as we do move along here. And starting it off with stock number 2 here, we are going to have EOS Energy Enterprises, ticker symbol EOSE. Now, you guys can see currently EOS is sitting at $14.42, just under $5 billion in market cap. Our average price is about $9.64. So from that average price, moving up to our one extension, that is going to be about $130 or 130% in gain, sorry. Then from there, we're going to move up to our 1618 extension, up 188% from our entry. And following that, all-time highs up 234%. Now I'm going to switch over to the monthly time frame because I am a big fan of looking at EOS here. You guys can see not only does this chart just look absolutely amazing, but if we are able to measure this as an entire cup right here, by 2027, we should see a breakout through all-time highs, and from there leading to our measured move target, which is up 567% to $64.26. Now, if you're wondering how I do this, you take the low from this cup, you measure it to the high of the cup, and then you literally just stack it on top of itself. I know it sounds insanely easy, and that's because it is. That is the measured move right there, and that is all you need to do to find a price target out of a cup and handle. But overall, I am very, very bullish on EOS, and you guys can see as we switch over to our financials here, you guys can see that EOS is still getting a buy rating over here on TradingView. These analysts are targeting a max at $22 of 52% from today's prices, and that would be, once again, well over 100% for us personally. Also, an average price at around $16, which is up 11%, and a minimum of a loss of about 16% down to $12, which obviously I do not believe will happen. Now, as we do switch over to our EPS and revenue here, you guys can see EPS not great this year. Okay, not great in 2025, minus $5.24. I don't know why we're losing focus on the camera. But after that, in 2026, we are really ramping it up from a loss of $5 all the way up to almost profitable at a loss of just 35 cents. In 2027, we do turn profitable, up around 19 cents for EPS, and in 2028, we are at 75 cents. So this is an insane growth rate of over 1,000% in just about 4 years. And much of the same goes for our revenue. In 2024, we did about 15 million. Sorry, 15 million. In 2025, we did about 150 million. And in 2028, we're forecasted to do over $1.5 billion in revenue. Now, of course, this is insane growth for any company, but let alone energy companies where we are still seeing these deals roll in. We are seeing guidance raised quarter after quarter and month after month, it feels like, with these stocks that are signing new deals, getting new acquisitions, and starting to push their products into a place where data centers can actually use them. Now, I believe that EOS Energy is kind of an outlier here with their zinc batteries. We're either going to see a massive adoption of these, or we could see these kind of fade out. So, of course, we're going to have to continue to monitor this. But overall, this growth does not lie. If we are to see continuing growth for this company, I seriously do believe that with their strategic and kind of unique product with zinc batteries, we could honestly see them cross over $100 a share before 2030. Of course, that is very speculative, but that is a possibility nonetheless. Our third and final stock in today's video is going to be Bloom Energy, ticker symbol BE. Now, Bloom Energy has been on an absolute rally after we alerted it just a few weeks ago. We actually alerted it last week under $92 a share, and we are now all the way over $122. The stock is up around 14% today and over 42% in the past week alone. Now, in my personal opinion, I believe that we are going much higher. Now, we do have a prior all-time high at around $147.86. Then after we do break that, we are going to head up to $160.96, up around 82% from our entry. Still a pretty good gain from prices today. And by the end of 2026, I do believe that we will see a price target of around $213, up around 144% in total. Now, overall, this is just a great stock. It looks amazing on the chart. And as I do switch to the weekly, this is one of the better wedges that I have seen in quite some time. This is a great breakout, holding this prior resistance now as newfound support, twice making a double bottom and moving off of this. I do fully believe that this is going to be a big year for energy, and I do believe that BE will frontline this for a lot of these energy stocks. Now, before I do switch over to the financials, I do want to talk about the possibility of moving all the way up to around that $300 price range, which is up 239%. Now, of course, that is where we do get into a little bit of that speculation, but of course, this is possible, and you guys will see why when we do switch over to the financials. Now, taking a look at these financials, we can see this stock apparently isn't rated very well by TradingView, but who cares? I outperform all of those analysts, so they can suck my butt. Now, looking at the EPS here, you can see their EPS growth is actually insane. Going from 54 cents, already profitable, by the way, so a great company to start out with, but 54 cents in 2025, all the way up to $4.28 for EPS in 2028. That is a great growth rate. And currently they're sitting at only $30 billion in market cap, which while it is hefty, we are still seeing great growth in revenue. And we're also seeing them increase their contracts that they have with these companies over what they are going to do with their energy storage for these data centers. Now, we can also see that revenue is growing at a great rate as well. $1.9 billion in 2025, 2.47 in 2026, then 4.2 in 2027. So that means that revenue is growing by over 50% year over year. Great growth rate. And then we are also seeing that EPS is growing at almost 100% year over year. Then we also finish off 2028 by seeing a revenue estimate of around $6.38 billion. So overall, BE is looking absolutely amazing. EOS is looking absolutely amazing. And TE is looking absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, taking a look at what this means for energy stocks. Those were my top 3 energy stocks for 2026, and I believe that not only will all 3 of these stocks see possible 100+% returns in 2026, but I truly do believe that all 3 of these stocks can 5x by 2030. Of course, that is not financial advice. That is my personal opinion, and this is just for educational purposes. But overall, I have high conviction in all 3 of these plays. We are seeing great financial growth for all of these companies in EPS, revenue, free cash flow, and overall contracts that they are starting to sign. We are going to see this energy sector ramp up over the next couple of years with all of this AI demand. We are seeing all of these energy demands, not only for AI, but for these Bitcoin miners and for these chips, and everything in the world is going to use energy in the future. We are only getting more tech heavy as the world progresses as a whole. So energy is going to be a main focus over the next couple of years. Once again, I do expect all of these companies to see a possible 5x by 2030. Very, very speculative, but very, very possible if they are able to continue to grow their revenue, free cash flow, EPS, etc. Now we'll have to see how all three of these companies have their products, adopted by these data centers, because all three of these companies have very, very different products. EOS having a zinc battery is pretty unheard of compared to a lot of other energy stocks out there and energy companies in general. So we'll have to continue to monitor that. But I honestly believe that that could be an edge for these companies, saying, hey, you have 10 people that have this product, but you only have one that has this product. So finding where they are going to fit in this crowded market is going to be the most important thing. I believe that all three of these stocks do have a spot in this crowded market, and I believe all three of them will flourish over the next couple of years. So let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite energy stock here. If you guys have one that I maybe have not mentioned in today's video, please let me know. And if you guys do agree or disagree, I'd love to hear from you. Now, of course, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys want to see next, and I will see y'all in the next video.